What do you have to do? You have to ask sorry, confess, and say, Lord, next time I'm not going to do this. That means you are running that race, you want to go forward. But many of them are touched, but you don't want to do that. You understand? And what you are doing, you are not running your race in a full capacity. Lord wants everybody to run. My desire is for everyone, to be more like Christ. What is the ultimate goal? From glory to glory, whom do we have to become like? Into His image. Father loves the Son so much, I cannot go into that detail anymore right now. His love for His Son is so much that He wanted to prepare a bride for His Son. And for that, He is doing everything. In Father's heart, His mind, thought is everything about His Son. And He wants to make a bride for His Son who is an equal partner, who is exactly like His Son. And that's what the bride is running the race, to become like Christ. And we are individual in the body of Christ. And we have to run in such a way that we become more and more. Becoming more and more like Christ, who is glorified. Who has the greatest joy, Father. Because Father loves the Son so much, beyond any understanding, If you hurt His Son, whom you are hurting? The Father. So this race is very much important. And race is all about Lord Jesus Christ. And our being like Lord Jesus Christ. And there has to be discipline in our Christian life, in our spiritual life. And that needs to die daily. Die daily. Few things I have written here. That we do not compete against each other. There is no competition against each other. In a real race, when somebody is going fast, there was one incident that happened. He was almost come to the point of reaching, and he was looking back who is coming behind me, and the other guy passed by. We don't look at others in Christian life. You are looking at your own self. Not as a selfishness, but to be like Christ. I have been, as I told, I have been giving a message on take heed. The Lord was speaking with me. Take heed on how you give your alms. Take heed how you fast. Take heed how you pray. Take heed of the doctrine of Pharisees. And last one I gave, take heed that ye despise not this little one. Who is this little one? All of you are about me. Next to you. Will you despise in any way, any sense, through your eyes, through your speaking, through your action, and hurting other person? We are running this race. Lord says, don't do this, beware. If I am not beware of all the things which the Lord has told me, where is my race? Lord wants a discipline, obedience, abandoning your own self, dying to your own self. Lord has put us into this race. Everybody is in the race, those are born again. But everyone will take heed how he runs or she runs. Nobody is going to help you in that race. Yes, the Holy Spirit will help you, guide you, lead you. But it is in your hand how you run the race. Those who are not born again, totally they are not in this race at all. Only the believers. So let's see what are the disciplines. First of all, there should be no indulgence in the things of this world, but there should be always a restraint. And we should not compete against each other, but against the obstacles which would come in our life. And those obstacles may be practical, they may be physical, or it may be spiritual. Many of them will hinder us to run this race. But we have to overcome this and have discipline. What are the disciplines? Mark chapter 10 verse 21. Mark, if anybody gets it, you can just help me. Mark 10:21.
Then Jesus, beholding him, loved him, and said unto him, One thing thou lackest, go thy way, sell whatsoever thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And
So-
so take up the cross and follow me.
The first discipline or self-discipline, it involves surrendering special treasures you have in your life. In this place, what was this treasure? His money, riches. And the what Lord said? You give up your treasure and what? Take up the cross and follow me. He was not ready to surrender. Let's see one more verse, Matthew 6:20. Matthew 6:20. Anybody again help me?
But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through or steal.
Right. Recently what happened in India, you know that, right? So many treasures. What? $1,000, 1,000 rupees note, 5,000 rupees note, 5,000, right?
500.
All those, what happened? They were able to use it. They kept it as a treasure in their house. Now they cannot even use it. What is our treasure which hinders us from running the race? Now, this man had reached his problem. We may have earthly treasure, we don't know what is it. It is not necessarily gold or silver or money, but there is something which is coming in hindrance between me and the Lord, some treasure. But I will know my own treasure. And if we are sincere in running the race, the Lord will show me. The Lord will show me. It may be a pride also, it may be a treasure, something. And the Lord will show me through His Holy Spirit. Now what am I supposed to do? When I self-discipline myself in that particular area, and if the Lord says, you do this, and if I don't do it, then I'm not running a proper race. But if this man was a rich man, if he would have given everything and followed Lord Jesus Christ, he would have self-disciplined himself and he would have run the race. So in running the race, it's giving many things up. But remember, Lord knows our need. Brother Bakshi always used to say, if you give anything to the Lord will not keep it back, He will give you double. So, Lord gave what? So, the brother said that because he had experience. Brother gave up everything, isn't it? Even inheritance. But what? Did he get everything? I believe so much money is poured out into heaven which cannot be counted. It is not his, but because of his obedience and giving up everything, he has everything. He doesn't use it, but he uses for God's glory, but he has everything. If he comes to USA, those who have come from Hebron and other places who knew him, and if they have like a big house, like a palace, what they will tell brother, you come and stay in my house only. Brother has given everything, but he can still stay in a palace type house. Yes, God gives, but he has disciplined himself to give everything. So the first discipline is to surrender things which is in my heart. If I don't do that, I will be hindering the race I am running. Secondly, in 1 Kings 17 and verse 13, and here it is a self-discipline involving the sacrifice to serve the need of others. Serve the need of others. 1 Kings 17:13. Everybody get it, please.
And Elijah said unto her, Fear not, go and do as thou hast said. But make me thereof a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son.
Yeah. Elijah says to that woman, what? You don't look at your own self, right? But you give to the service of others. There was a famine going on. But Elijah said, no, you serve me first. Even in Lord Jesus Christ, I don't go to many verses. I was reading just yesterday, day before yesterday, in Mark 15 and verse 31. Mark 15 and verse 31.
Likewise also, the chief priests mocking said among themselves with the scribes, He saved others, himself he cannot save.
See the life of Christ. What did he do? He sacrificed himself for others. He saved others, but they thought that he's not saving himself. If he would have saved himself, what would have happened? He would not have been able to save others. But these people did not know about it. He could have come down from the cross. He could have gone to heaven right away in front of them. But he came to serve, not to be served. He saved others. He was working for others. What are we doing, when looking at my own selfishness, or am I there to serve other people? Brothers and sisters, in a local church, when there is a discipline of life of Christ, there will be no problem, that? Why are the problems coming in a service all over the India and other places, Because I don't want to surrender. I don't want to sacrifice myself for other people. I don't want to serve others. But when you have that humbleness of the Spirit, Lord, what did the Lord do? He stepped down and washed the feet of disciples. Serve. And when you do that, believe me, there will be every one of us, because we are all running the race, brothers and sisters, those are born again. But if you don't have this to serve others, but serve me, that's a problem. So this is a discipline you have to bring in your Christian life. Let's go further. Proverbs 25 and verse 6. And this is again self-exaltation. You don't do self, there should be discipline in your self-exaltation. Proverbs 25 verse 6.